Welcome to Future Proof. This is Tuesday, October 11th, and we are seeing warm, cloudy greetings from amazing Bogota in Colombia. And we are here for DEF CON. And it's just amazing seeing everybody in the airport in the lines. Shout out to the Zcash family. Good to see you guys in the line, waiting to get your passport stamped. And of course, everybody who may have been in the line yesterday, today, or even a few days before, welcome. To those coming in from Medellin after Cosmoverse, welcome. And welcome to Future Proof. We are the Tuesday AMAs for the cross-chain inevitability that is happening, right? So cross-chain is a thing, people. It's real. It's big. It's bigger than this one AMA. We have one of many. I think since we've started, there have been many now cross-chain events. So congratulations to all the new cross-chain events launching, etc. And of course, congratulations to our cross-chain community on Telegram, and to those who are reading the transcript or watching the video. Please, super congrats to everyone here having to take a look at this content. You want to read this content, you want to listen in, because this is the alpha for the next phase of innovation in the blockchain space. And today, we are graced with the most awesome rock stars to join us for today. This is the Redacted team, and on the Redacted team side, can I get a mic check from OX Sammy and Never? You guys are here.
Mic check.
All right, 1 2 1 2, excellent. Thanks, Never. Sammy, you good? I see he's still connecting, so we'll see how he comes online very, very soon. All right, and we're very excited because I've known about it's so funny. I've known about the Redacted cartel from blog posts and news, and I have been following it for some time now, and I'm like, wow, these guys are amazing. Continuously shipping, continuously bringing stuff forward and moving us forward in the DeFi and crypto ecosystem. So thank you for all your contributions. Sammy, you here? We got a mic check on you?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Good, good,
Okay,
good to go.
perfect. It's
Rock and
just
roll.
like,
All right.
uh,
Does it sound good to you?
no, it says I'm like a listener in the thing, and like I don't see what the mute button is.
Oh my God. I see I have you here as a speaker.
I mean, if you can hear me,
Uh,
that's all that matters.
Yeah, we can hear you good. We can hear you good. And also, we also say use headphones, wired headphones instead of Bluetooth, because sometimes that makes it kind of weird. So if you have a wired headset, it tends to be easier for Twitter to handle. All right, okay, so agenda for today, folks. What we're going to talk about is redacted beginnings. We're going to talk about the history of redacted, how it got here. Then we're going to talk about hidden hand, and then we're going to talk about some cross-chain stuff. Are we ready to jump in? Yeah, let's go. All right. Never, Sami, talk to me. Redacted, the main philosophy. What is it, and why did it happen?
Right. So I guess going back all the way then, Redacted was spun about just under a year now, um, with the idea of like bringing um, derivatives to governance, right? And what that sort of means is uh, where I guess like most projects sort of launching at the same time as us would focus on uh, you know cross-chain bridging and all these sort of stuff on like the application layer. Like we always saw value on the governance layer right beneath it when we saw different projects start to like add like real governance to their platform, right? Where you could direct emissions and really
Yeah.
attach like a dollar value to the things people are voting on. So, snapshot is snapshot. It is what it is. But that sort of inspired us to like, go out there, do like a token raise, pull in some funds, build out a team, and start launching these like, yeah, exactly what I said. These governance derivatives, right? So the two main products or money makers are called Hidden Hand and Pyrex. Hidden Hand is like a general purpose governance incentive marketplace where any project can spin up a market similar to like Uniswap or something, attach their governance to it or specific governance votes, like for example, like a gauge vote, and different parties can come in and incentivize different parts of the votes, and they can just get more utility out of their token.
Okay. Whoa,
Um,
whoa, 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 whoa. Whew. Okay. All right. Whew. Okay. All right. Now, usually I do this where I jump in when you just give a whole bunch of alpha and we got to slow it down and rewind to chew it up because what you're seeing is pretty powerful. So let's make sure we reflect. Hidden hand, right? So we're talking about Pyrex or hidden hand? Which one we're talking about?
this is hidden hand.
Hidden hand. So hidden hand allows a team, right? They have a project, they can spin up. When you said they can spin up, are we talking about spinning up an AMM or what are they spinning up?
They're spinning up a market, right? So in the same way
Right.
that you would create a Uniswap market or an Aave market, right?
Yes.
So they
Yes.
create a hidden hand market.
Got it. So it's a hidden max. So this is a pair. So if am I correct? I'm thinking of it as a pair, or when you say there's a hidden hand market, what should we be thinking that should look like exactly? Because again, thinking of it as people don't know hidden hand or who aren't familiar may just be surprised of how powerful this is.
You can think of it as uh, like a pair. You can think of it as like a single-sided pair when you launch, right?
Perfect.
So yeah.
Copy that. Right. Awesome. So hidden hand helps you launch a single-sided pair, right, for your project. And then you said you attach governance to it. What does that mean when you say you attach governance?
I can jump in. So in a sense, yeah, I mean, in DeFi, kind of makes it very different, right? The TradFi is kind of this whole incentive game, right?
Yeah.
And governance kind of allowed basically the owners of these dApps to kind of choose where to kind of emit this value, and kind
Right.
of basically give ownership over the network to to users that provide value, and basically it said that the owners of the current network can basically choose where this value goes to, right? And hidden hand, and since governance is the one that's choosing, they kind of hold the power. And
Right.
to kind of make it like an efficient system,
Hmm.
I guess putting it on the market and making it fully, like fully, demand supply kind of driven, really made sense and made governance very much more efficient. Participation went up, and users actually
Right.
started earning from their governance power. So
Right.
basically, what hidden hand allows is basically putting you like let's say your DEX like balancer, like one of our markets,
Yep. Yep.
and you have like all these different pools, and liquidity is king, right, in DeFi. And let's say I'm like Raps, Steth, and I want more users of to to deposit ETH and mint Steth. I would basically want to incentivize the Steth pool and balancer. So I would put up a thing we call a bribe. So it's like an amount of money that I attach to
Oh,
my
whoa, whoa, whoa,
pool.
whoa. Hold on, hold on, hold on. That's another key word here, a bribe. So what is a bribe when we think of a DeFi space? And I know you guys, this is for everybody in DeFi, it's kind of like, dude, everybody knows what a bribe is. But just to break it down, because I think when we're going to get back into this conversation of how this works cross-chain, it's going to be huge when we think of bribes working across chain. So what is a bribe?
Yeah, a bribe is just another word for incentive, but an incentive that is created by someone outside of the protocol. Let's say.
So
Yeah,
are you going to say, I'm outside the protocol, I got some ETH. I'm like, listen, people, give me your tokens. And if you give me your tokens, I will give them back to you, or I keep them and then I go make a vote. Is that how the
yeah,
function works?
yeah,
Okay.
and
I
it's
think a
similar.
better way or a better way to think about it could be something like, um, I'm gonna put up these tokens as a bribe slash incentive. If you vote for the thing that I put that incentive towards, then I will give you tokens.
Yeah, taking it. I love it. Dude, this is beautiful. So it's a simple bribe. Vote for me, you get tokens.
That's
Yeah,
why they're called bribes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Sorry, you have to understand. I come from my old world. It was always about no, no. It's about everything must be quote unquote regulated, and bribes are bad. But now you guys have made bribes like bribes are good. Bribes are a way to get things done in the DeFi space in ways in which in the analog in the real world it's kind of like not seen as as so productive.
yeah,
So
Well, it
essentially,
has this it has this like negative connotation to it because uh I guess like in the real world, right? Bribes are like done behind the scenes, right? And like this is all like
right.
transparent, right? Like that's why
Right.
bribe is like a fun word, right? Like we like to have fun with things, but it's really just an incentive, right? Like it's not something that's happening behind the scenes, right? Like everyone can see it.
yeah. We
Everybody
basically
knows what the
value
bribe is.
exactly, and you value instead of like some people's votes being paid for and some not. Like basically, when you put it just on the market, basically you equate everyone's governance power, and basically everyone's governance power is equal, and it has value. So why not? People should actually be earning money since they're the ones who are creating the value.
It's great. And what you have done is also incentivize governance to be like, to get off their butts, right? I have tokens. Why do I have to vote? Jesus, I don't care. Like, there's a lot of tokens I have that I just don't vote for because I'm like, I'm busy. But now you're saying, no, no, bro, listen, if you do what we want you to do, which is to do this vote, you now get rewarded for it. So you get me off my couch so that now I want to be part of community. And now I have to read, I have to engage. So it seems like bribes are a great way to also raise the participation of governance, which a lot of programs struggle with without this type of functionality. Am I right, or am I just making stuff up?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, we've definitely seen when we started creating a hidden hand market for a governance token, like basically participation goes up like fivefold. You know, it really it really creates a reason for you to actually have governance, and yeah, and I mean, it's a really good flywheel where it kind of puts external capital back into the system, where you're not just running in a loop of you farming your native governance token of the app you own, but now you're actually receiving equity from other projects that your governance token is actually helping out and creating value for.
It's awesome. I love it. This is great. Okay. All right. Okay. I pull this back. So now that we've covered, how Hidden Hand works, bringing governance next to, a market, a single-sided market for the token. Tell me more about how, where we go from there with Hidden Hand. How else does it work?
Yeah. Um, yeah, we started off just with, mainly like AMM governance, right? But like, yeah, I think you can really think about it of more of as an incentive, and basically incentive, you don't need to have them just at the governance layer, but anywhere where there's, a scarce amount of like value, and when there's basically it's like a putting allocation of resources on the market, right? Right now, the resources are the votes, and basically you incentivize the votes, and so that you kind of get more ownership over that. But you can actually put this on in other layers, right? Let's say even uh, we do kind of have a Bribe marketplace already on Ethereum on the even on the block production level, right? Where users can basically bribe miners to get their transactions, first in the block, or we
That's right.
always make sure. So, yeah, kind of entering that kind of space would also very make sense for us, to make it even more on the market and a bit more, investable stuff like that. So yeah, we're exploring not just sticking on AMMs and DeFi, but in all other areas, even NFTs. Like I don't know if you heard, we also have a market for I forgot what was that one, NFT Tower or something.
Yep.
And
Yep. Are there, has there been any problems with, this type of approach to governance, incentivizing of governance? I've been in, I will admit, I've been in, Telegram chats where, somebody said, oh my God, incentivizing governance, that's, we want to be purist, we want to be purist. And I'm like, well, why? What are you afraid of? Have there been any sort of negative consequences of, the hidden hand model that, people, we may not be aware of? Or has it been all like, hey, this is positive, this is value accretive, this is, an effective lubricant to, slow or, newly formed governance systems?
yeah, um, yeah. I mean, with the hidden hand model currently, we knew that there was risks in if you just put it on the broader governance, like basically have incentives for every single governance vote. So we primarily voted on token emissions, where
Got it.
it's not very opinionated and it won't really change the system too much. And
Yep.
and so basically, like with the protocols that we work with, they usually spin up markets just for token emissions. Uh,
Got it. So Hidden Hand has sort of narrowed its focus. So we say, hey, where we think it's effective and beneficial for the protocol is really in protocol emissions decisions. Should we increase emissions or should we reduce emissions? Is that how I should
exactly.
think about it?
Yeah,
Okay, excellent.
and where are they allocated to? and stuff like
And
that.
where they allocate it. Aha, right. That's right. Where they allocate it. Let's have a vote. Okay, so I'm going to switch gears now to talk about Pyrex. What is Pyrex, and how did you guys get it started, and why?
Right. So Pyrex is in many ways uh the perfect combination with Hidden Hand, right? So Pyrex is like the second product we put out, um, which basically I think like the easiest way I've been describing it to people is it's a mix of these like liquid lockers, liquid stakers, something like Lido, um, combined with these principal token, yield token, dApps like Element, right? But instead of applying it to tokens like ETH, we apply it to revenue generating tokens like CVX and GMX.
Okay. All right. Help me out now. All right. Uh, okay. All right. Now let's break it down because we got folks are gonna have to read this and be like, all right, I gotta understand what and we may not hyperlink the what is CVX and what is Element. Okay, so let's break it up into smaller components. Okay, so you start off with liquid staking. All right, walk me through it again. I got liquid staking, but then
Liquid staking is basically um, you have a token that requires a lockup period or
yep,
yeah, like it requires a lockup period in order for you to earn rewards, right?
yes.
So when you put a token into a lockup, like it's non-transferable, it's not liquid, etc. You can use a system like Pyrex, Lido. There's some other like competitors on the market to basically like put in those assets and then get back a liquid representation of it, right?
Oh, okay. Whoa, hold on.
Yeah.
So you're just saying Pyrex is a different version of Lido? It's just another liquid
Well, I
staking?
use like it's not because Lido is for like liquid staking, for example, whereas like
Correct.
we focus on like liquid locking.
So there's something called liquid locking. All right, good. All right. So let's throw liquid staking out the window. Fuck that shit. This is about liquid locking. So you're saying if you lock your token up, we unlock that token.
Maybe
And
a better like I think
yeah,
yeah like not to confuse people, right? Like a better way to think of it is like you know how like Aave works, right? Where you put in tokens, you get back like K
yep,
tokens, right?
yep.
Like it's the basically the exact same thing, right? Like you put your CVX in, you get out PX CVX, and then that PX CVX is earning all the rewards that the locked one would have earned.
Got it. Got it. And then I can trade
Yeah, yeah,
that
and then you
PCX
can yeah,
CVX, right?
exactly, and then that's the benefit of Pyrex is that um, like you can trade the principal token and you can also trade the yield.
Okay,
Um,
now hold on. Isn't Convex supposed to be my liquid token to unlock my locked CRV?
Yeah, well, the thing is, we started with Convex because that was like, like the market we were most like dived into, right? But
Yeah.
Pyrex can really like the way we designed the code, the architecture of it is to be like super composable. So the next like launch is like GMX, and then from there like really like the sky's the limits, right? Like we can really do any token we want, right? But we started with CVX because obviously that's like the ecosystem that like
Yeah.
we were most like
Yeah.
in like dived into.
How did it work out with CVX? What was some of the metrics we should know about Pyrex when you guys launched on CVX?
Right. So within Um, I don't even know, like I'm losing track of time. I think within 6 months of it launching, we've pulled in over like $7.5 million of CVX, which is
Wow.
relatively pretty successful compared to some of the other solutions like on the market.
Yep.
Um, so within Redacted as a whole, we have like um, just as much like in our treasury, and now like through the Pyrex product, like we've locked up like another like 7.5, $8 million of CVX.
Excellent. Congrats. Okay, so Pyrex has legs, and so now you're going to do this with GMX, and you said the sky's the limit. So when we think of the sky's the limit, what should we be thinking of?
I won't say names, right? But this is the thing. The reason I said that Pyrex and Hand Hand go like perfectly with like hand in hand with each other is because you can create one of the revenues that you can unlock for these tokens is the bribes that you get from like Hidden Hand, for example, right? Um, and like one of the things we do for the PXCVX token is we auto compound those bribes that come in into more PXCVX, right? That's sort of like
Right.
your yield that you're
Nice.
generating.
Very
So we
nice.
can launch hidden hand markets. Right now we have hidden hand markets for FXS, RBN, Balancer, or like there's a lot of hidden hand markets now.
Wow.
And we can essentially pair them with Pyrex markets, right?
Yep.
So that people can just like now not only do we control the governance layer of like a lot of these tokens, but we also
Hmm.
control like the liquidity layer of like a lot of these tokens too, right? And
Right.
it's sort of this just like mentality of just like scaling vertically rather than horizontally, because I think
Yep.
like scaling horizontally is really easy, right? We can just continue to launch new markets, and I think for a lot of DeFi projects, that's kind of like the de facto. That's like sort of like the de facto scaling mindset is okay. Let's just like deploy these basic smart contracts here and here and here, right?
Yep.
But for us, we look at these like mega market cap tokens, and actually the right way to like conquer them. We're talking cross chain stuff. Let's think of like AVAX, for example, right? Like
Yep.
the way for us to like really take over AVAX is not for us to just deploy hidden hand on AVAX, but it
Hmm.
is to come out with hidden hand markets across all of the AVAX dApps, and then Pyrex
Right.
tokens for all of those, right? And then eventually
Right.
move into things like validator bribes and getting into stuff on
Whoa,
like the
whoa, whoa, whoa,
consensus layer.
whoa, 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 whoa. You said something there. So this is what I wanted to talk about. When validated bribes? When are we going to see validated bribes?
Um, we're gonna experiment with it with Bearchain, right?
Hmm.
Which is
Hmm.
like a new EVM launching on Cosmos.
Yep.
So the way
Whoa,
that
whoa, 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 whoa. A new EVM launching on Cosmos? That sounds weird.
a
I don't
new
understand.
EVM blockchain launching on Cosmos.
So you mean another Evmos?
It's a bit different in Avmos because it uses a different like consensus mechanism.
What consensus mechanism does it use?
It uses this basically like the innovation there is this thing called proof of liquidity, where actually you can like diversify the security of the chain by staking tokens like ETH and BTC to like
Hmm.
validate the chain and not just the
Hmm.
native token.
Got it. So
um,
really, you still
and,
can.
and
You're. Go ahead.
and then with that comes their stablecoin Honey, and honestly it's like a better Evmos in my opinion.
Whoa! So this is a better Evmos that's coming. See, this is why you listen to this because we. I didn't know this. Wow, this is the alpha of the day. Okay, so a better. How far are they away from mainnet?
I mean, yeah, very far. But the thing is that like we're gonna be there day one. We've been working
Okay.
really closely with them,
Okay.
and we're gonna start deploying the what we imagine to be like in hand V2
Yep.
directly on Bearchain as like a POC first.
Wait, this
So
is beer chain. Beer,
Bearchain,
BEA. Okay, I thought it said Pierre. Oh, we know the beer chain team. Okay,
yeah,
great team. Great team. Very smart
yeah,
guys. Okay, this is their honey thing. That's why,
yeah,
blah, blah. Okay, got it. Okay, love the beer chain team. And okay, so you guys are partnered with them. Good to know. Very, very cool.
yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Good. Okay, so they're going to take some time to launch, right? Because I still think they're in development. Any other non-EVM chains will we see the hidden hand?
Oh yeah, no, non EVM. Um, The only other team that we've had like really good conversations with has been ZK Sync. I know it's not, oh sorry,
Yep.
Starknet. It's not.
Yep.
It's not a non EVM chain, but it is like a non EVM roll up. So I guess that's close enough.
Yep. It's not a non-EVM chain. It's a non-EVM rollup. All right, cool. Agreed. And are you there? I mean, ZK Sync is currently, I don't know what stage. Are they still on main? Are they on mainnet yet or still testnet?
I don't think it's even on testnet yet,
I
but it
don't think
looked
it's
like
on testnet.
Polygon launched, so I imagine they'll launch soon.
Something soon. Okay,
Yeah,
got it. And you will be there. Anywhere else in the
we're gonna be
cosmos? Will we?
everywhere. We're gonna be everywhere, right? So
I
the
know,
way
I
that we've
know.
like,
Give us some more. Tell us where next. Come on, give it to us.
yeah, I mean like the the easiest one is that like we put a lot of focus on like the L2s. So what has happened is Arbitrum and Optimism, right? And then obviously I just mentioned like Starknet, and there's a big focus internally on just like layer twos because we think that like a lot of the a lot of the like value capture is going to be there on the layer twos. And then when we think
Whoa, whoa,
outside
whoa,
of
whoa, whoa. Why do you say that though? Do you say that for a reason? Why should the value capture be on the L2s versus the L1s?
well, value capture might not be the best word there, right? Like the way I think about it is just like for dApps, right? Like it's just easier for them to like launch in the layer two now, and I just see like a lot of the action and on chain, sort of like on chain like activity has just moved from the layer one to the L two. So maybe from like a value capture perspective, the layer one is still absorbing all of that value, but from the application layer, like the layer twos are like sort of where the bread and butter is, right?
Well, if optimism is going to throw me a lot of tokens, I'm in. Or if Arbitrum is going to throw me tokens, I'm in, right? I mean, in a weird sense, there's a kind of a bribe here, right? Everybody knows that they're going to get tokens from the L2. But if there were no incentivized tokens from the L2, do you still think the volume would move to the L2s in the way you're describing?
Right. Well, the thing is, yes, because I think that people face a lot of problems. Um, we face this problem, right? When you want to deploy on like a new chain that's outside of Ethereum, the developer tooling is sort of just not there. And for a lot of people,
Oh,
it's
don't worry.
easy.
You could be honest. You can say it's fucking shit, Tarek.
I wouldn't say that it's shit, right? I'd say that like, deploying on Arbitrum is a lot easier than deploying on like another EVM L1, for example,
Yes.
right?
Agreed. Agreed.
And you just have like different security guarantees that don't come with like, perhaps like a newer L1. But that's why we're so excited about Cosmos. And I think like, obviously we will do Avalanche, like our community knows. We've been trying to do this Avalanche thing forever, Benki and stuff.
But Avalanche
But
has EVM though. What's stopping you from Avalanche?
nothing, right? Nothing. But like I said, like we can be anywhere and everywhere. But when I just think about like that's just like the approach of like a regular DeFi project, and we try not to use that mentality, right? Like obviously we can
Right.
be on Avalanche, and obviously we will. But when I think about like pulling in like hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars into like the butterfly lock, right? I think like really the best way to do that is to like put most of the developer energy on like vertically scaling ourselves throughout the
Right.
Cosmos ecosystem and like the Ethereum
Right.
L2s.
Right.
Obviously, it's not up to me. Like I'm just like speaking on like behalf of the DAO, but
Yep.
I
Yep.
think like most of the core developers are sort of like aligned with this like thesis.
It's awesome. Well, okay. First of all, I want to say you guys have captured some amazing mechanics in essentially monetizing governance. And I think everybody should be working with you guys hidden hand. I think everybody should be looking at how monetizing governance can then change the dynamics and create new ways of getting community engagement. I think this is impressive. Congratulations on the growth with Convex and of course the coming of the other projects that you have, Hidden Hand V2, et cetera. Definitely looking forward to seeing how you guys continue to scale on the L2s. I think what you're saying here, if you're saying that the evidence for success on the L2s is better developer, sort of onboarding, I think anybody reading or listening to this video will want to keep that in mind as they think of their cross-chain initiatives, where they go next. Think the L2s. And if Redacted is already sort of voting with the L2s by putting their energies there, then if you're in the cross-chain ecosystem space, make sure that you're also looking at as well. I know we're out of time. We're a little over.
Another thing I'll
Hit
say,
me.
Tariq, before we wrap
Yeah,
up is that
hit it.
one thing that's really important for Redacted is the fact that like when we do scale into something new, that it is a mature ecosystem, right? And to us, like even though the L2s are newer, we find like the DeFi scene on the layer twos and the Cosmos chains is a lot more mature than perhaps something in like the realm of like Avalanche or
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Those are fighting words, bro. Those are fighting words. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Are you saying to me, I mean, are you saying, hey, Gun, listen, bro, L2s are more fun than AVAX?
Well, fun is not the right word, but would I say that like the activity from the developer side is more concentrated on like one or two dApps on I'm using Avex as an example here for like
Correct,
like a
correct,
wide variety
correct.
of chains.
Of course, of course, of
Um,
course.
but like would I say like the developer activity is more concentrated on a few dApps within like
Yeah.
those EVM L1s compared to like layer twos where you're seeing new dApps deploy like every day? Like yeah, I would say so. You know what
But
I mean?
why is that? Why do you think that is so? Why is that so?
It's like a question that's like too it's too like all these chains are like still in like a stage of like infancy, right? And it's too early to tell
Right,
why that is the
right.
case.
Right. Well, I mean, I agree, but again, you're saying that the L2s will continue to grow and continue to succeed, and I think that is again a piece of alpha here for us to consider.
Maybe just like maybe just me being a permeable, right? Like I think like Avax and stuff will also continue to scale, right?
Right, right.
But maybe not in the same direction that we see the L2 scaling, if that makes sense.
It does, but I think the core simplicity of what you're saying is, Tarek, everybody in the cross chain, get your asses to the L2s. The ecosystem is there, the developers are there, the dApps are there, the liquidity is there. Get over there. Am I wrong?
And Cosmos.
And Cosmos, of course. Never forget the cosmos. More is coming. Thank you, Never. Thank you, Sammy. You guys are on fire. We went way over. I think this is the longest that we have. I know we could talk for another hour, but most likely what we'll do is we'll have another one in the future. Thank you very much. Thank you, community. Thank you for everybody who came to listen. And this is great. Redacted. Please check it out. Get involved with the community. They are essentially changing the name of governance and the face of governance. And I think we all should definitely be participating in the Redacted experience. Hidden Hand and Pyrex. Thanks, guys. See you all.